Hey everybody, Shane with 40k Fanatics back with another Crusade video. And so I'm hand modeling again, and I've got my Nachman Gauntlet Crusade book, and they just announced at Adepticon that there'll be a new one, the Crusade Armageddon, which I'm very excited about. And today I played a game of Crusade in the Nachman Gauntlet, and it was really fun and really lovely. I lost again, I'm 0-3. I've also got Pry Nexus. So these are the two Crusade books that I have presently. There's also Leviathan and another one. And recently we did a video where I told you guys a little bit about kind of a bird's eye view, big top down kind of thing of how Crusade works. But I thought I'd do a series of videos kind of taking you step by step how to do it. So what we're going to talk about today is the construction of your Crusade force and what your data cards are and how requisition points and things of that sort work. So any Crusade book you have has got these rules. Or you can get these off of the Warcom download spot. And what these are, here they are, Crusade forces. You get a big piece of art in your Crusade books. Here it is in Pry Nexus. And this is where you get your basic how to put it together. And I'm going to kind of go through this and talk about what it means. Hopefully this will be a slightly shorter video. I've got my handy 3-ring binder with my Crusade force so I can show you what it looks like once we get it done. Now, the differences between any Crusade book you get is going to be things like in Pry Nexus, it's all Necron looking on your Crusade force and your data card things, which, you know, have the little... They've got the little note that says go ahead and copy them if you want. I believe somewhere in this Nachman Gauntlet book is the same kind of thing. But again, you don't even have to have one of these. Your campaign master, you know, whoever's running the Crusade can have these, and you can get these off of your off of Warcom and just download and print out your Crusade force and everything. So, what the heck is a Crusade force? How do we make one? What does it all mean? So, there's a couple of things you have to have for your Crusade force. First, you need your big sheet. This is kind of like your this is your Crusade force. It's like a roster of everything that you're going to put in. So, when you begin a Crusade, you start with a point limit. You'll see that there. Supply limit is what they call it. And it's 1,000 points to start. And then when you begin, you start with 5 RP, requisition points. Now, in your own codex, you'll have some requisitions and things, and in the various Crusade books and the regular bog standard Crusade rules, there'll be a requisition sheet. The one you're looking at here, the most important one for now, when we're initially putting our force together, is this one, Increased Supply Limit. It costs 1 RP, and it lets you add 200 points to your supply limit. What does that mean? Let me show you. Let's go to my handy dandy real-life example. Got my pencil in there, my notes. All right, what that means is when you go to fill this out, you start picking your various characters, and you're putting how many points they cost. It started at 1,000, and then I spent up now 3 requisition points to increase my supply limit to 1,600, and then I've used every single bit of it. You don't have to use every bit of it. Now, it's 1 point, 1 requisition point for every 200 you want to buy. So, you can start your Crusade with 2,000 points in your Crusade force if you use all your requisition points. So people that don't like to play 1,000-point games, you don't actually have to if everybody wants to do it this way. Now, I think, pro tip, maybe I'll flash that up on the screen. Pro tip, you want to keep a requisition point in your pocket. And the reason you do is for this one right here. Repair and recuperate. As you fight through a Crusade, some of your guys are going to get what's called battle scars, which we will cover in a later video in the series. And you can spend a requisition point, if you have a spare, to take that away. Now, some of them are things like, this character is no longer allowed to be attached to a unit. Well, that is quite crippling for some characters, and we don't want that. Therefore, I think it's best to keep one of these in your pocket. Now, You get a requisition point every time you play a battle, so it's not like you have to wait forever. You play a couple of 2,000 or a couple of 1,000-point battles. You increase your supply limit. You figure out what you like. Possibly there's very specific rules for the particular crusade that you're playing that's going to make a difference to what you actually end up putting on your list anyhow. But we will get to that in a minute. First, we have to figure out how the heck you actually put this together. And what you do is, and it says this in the rules, we could, folks, just read this, but you could just read this, and you've come to find a video, so apparently you don't want to. So I'm going to explain it a little more simply. To make your crusade force, what you have to do is every single unit that you would like to put onto this sheet needs one of these sheets. That is called a crusade card. Sometimes I'll call them a data card, but I guess it's a crusade card. And back to the 3-ring binder. Get all my little stuff out of here. Don't ask what that is. That has to do with Natman Gauntlet specifically. Here we go. Let's look at my first couple of crusade cards. This is Lord Henry. He is a Chaos Lord. He costs 105 points because he has an enhancement which you can buy with a requisition point. So another reason to keep a requisition point in your pocket rather than just blow them all at the beginning. All right, there's his enhancement, the War Master's Gift, because he's a Chaos Space Marine. And that's about all you have to fill out. You fill out the equipment. You're not allowed to change the equipment. Let me show you a different one. So that's a character. Here's a unit of some dudes. This is Henry's first. You can name these if you want, and I encourage you to because it's more fun that way for Lord Henry to go into battle all by himself. These guys are my shorthand, Legionnaires. So regular old Chaos Space Marine dudes. It's 5 of them. They cost 90 points. I like to just use a bit of shorthand with this too. It's melee and a melta gun. You know, because for every 5 you can have a melta gun, you can have a heavy weapon, yada yada. That's all you have to do. But you have to do that for every unit that's going to be in your crusade force up to the points limit that you have, the supply limit that you have. So I go on, and not every single one of these has even played in a battle yet. But as we play more battles and as we inch closer to everyone having enough requisition points and having spent enough of them to get to 2,000 points, I've got options. And options are good. If you've got a codex, then there's a little bit of stuff that you have to worry about for when you're putting your stuff together. And it's going to depend quite a bit because, so I've got Chaos Space Marines. This is the only codex I have because it's the one I like the best. And in your Crusade rules in here, which you'll have no matter who you've got, even if it's just a codex supplement, everybody will have some neat stuff that you can do in any crusade that you're doing. So whether you're playing Pariah Nexus, whether you're playing Natman Gauntlet, whether you're playing the new one that's going to come out, Armageddon, you can do this stuff. So in this case, it's a Chaos Warband thing where you get a Warband champion and you establish who that is. It's got to be a character, and it's when you put him into your crusade force. And then it's just got instructions. So it's very simple. You're going to keep track of this Path to Glory thing. That's what I'm doing. I've been losing, so I've not been getting very many of these points here. You see, you have a little table, and the little table lets you do some different things. You'll often have agendas, which we'll talk about in the next video, and you'll have agendas for if you're doing well in the faction-specific kind of objectives that you have. And then we'll get into all of this stuff in the next couple of videos. And I think that is going to be about all you need to know for the initial putting together. So, let's look through one more time real quick. Couple of notes. First of all, your crusade force doesn't even need to all be the same army. So I've got Chaos Space Marines, but let's say I had Chaos Space Marines and demons. I could put demons in here, and at some stage, I could theoretically play enough battles, get enough requisition points to, say, make my supply limit 5,000 points. There's no limit. I could have multiple sheets of this. It could just go on and on, right? And I could have whole other armies in my Crusade force that I could choose from. So, especially if you had a situation where there's like allied units and things, if I wanted to have some Chaos Knights to join my Black Legion, that would be fine. I would include them just the same. They would have a data card just the same, or Crusade card just the same, and then I would pick them. Because in the next video, we're going to talk about getting ready to do a battle in a Crusade, because there's some stuff that you have to worry about that is not just regular old match play, because we're not playing match play. We're playing the missions out of the Crusade book, which are really fun. And I'll talk to you again when we cover that.